All right, it's almost 9 o'clock, Friday, January 26th, pre-market, and I'm looking at the scanner here, and it appears as though we're going to have a positive day, or things that are bouncing, at least for the moment, and that can always change. And there goes save. This is why this type of thing, people that are trying to bottom fish in here, you can do it for scalps, but look at that clean break to the downside that you had this morning on save. All right, so I'm sure there was some news out with that. I'm looking at MaraCoin, some of these Bitcoiners. That's really the purpose of this video today. And what I'm seeing here is you have this anchor VWAP going back to the low, this yellow line, and it's been underneath of that, getting support from this anchor VWAP, which is attached to the all-time high. So you're in between these two levels, and right now we're at the top of that level. So the way that I'm looking at playing this Mara is one could short this right here using a stop just above this yellow line. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Let's actually take this down to a 15-minute chart. See, when you change the time frames, it does change where that anchor VWAP is at. So I'm looking at the longer term, the daily, the hourly here for this type of play. And what I'm thinking is you could short it down to here, and then you have this trend line, this upward sloping trend line. So, and then also the anchor VWAP here that is from the most recent low. So you could, a couple things could happen. We could just pause here, go sideways, chop around, and then take out this anchor VWAP and come up into this one where you had big time volume. Let's move it down to the candle. All right, so you could come up in here. Ultimately, if we look at a daily chart, I think this is setting up for lower prices. We're back below this high here, the breakout. But we have pulled back on lower, big volume sell-off here, and we're pulling back on lighter volume. And this little move up is on even less volume. So that's telling me that unless we get, now if we get where I would turn to bullish on this, is if we break above this yellow line, close above it on a daily with high volume, like something, like this. That's going to tell me that, okay, that maybe the bulls are back. As it is now, to me, on a daily type time frame, the bears are in control. But that doesn't mean that today it can't run up to here or even here and reject. So if it comes down to here on lighter volume, and then we start to see volume and it's curling up, well, you could take that for a swing, swing long position for short term. However, if it comes down here, rejects here, ultimate short opportunity would be to have it, if you just want to enter a position right here, it takes out this low, you could have a tight stop, and then you would look for it to take out this level on volume. And that would then set up for the next leg down, which ultimately, I believe, if it is going to go that direction, would take us down to perhaps this green line or the 200-day blue line average there. So we'll see. I mean, right now it's pausing. It's pausing on volume. It's building cause. The effect is volume. And if you have a big effect with volume to the upside, well, then I would look for higher prices. But I'd look for it to take out this level here on volume and down. So it does have this hourly squeeze. And all of the Bitcoin stocks that you're seeing are setting up similarly with this type of hourly squeeze, right? So right now, to me, this is an ascending wedge, but also a bear flag until we see buyers step in with conviction. I believe it is a bear flag. And so that, therefore, if I'm going to trade it to the long side, it's going to be for quick scalps. Q's, NVIDIA is digesting this news. And I have this marked up, and I did do a video on that with more detail. So if once you mark it up like that, if you're playing this intraday and you bring it down to a lower time frame, these levels, it doesn't look as congested as it does here. It's a little, you can't even read that, but when you bring it down to a 5 or 2 minute chart, well, you can see that really what we did is, I like the 15-minute chart the most for intraday trading. You came down into this big volume breakout here, where you had the news that NVIDIA is partnering with Equinox, I believe it is, where they're going to start making supercomputers for businesses. So we came down right into that level. Look how perfectly we tested that level. So that is a pretty strong support in my opinion. And right now we could be setting up to take out higher prices again and go up. Maybe we want to go up to 675, 700. I don't know. Right now it's digesting the news from here and this move. And we tested all the buyers back here. So I'd want to see, to really get bearish on this, I'd want to see it take out this green line on volume on a daily chart and close low. And we're not getting that right now. It's just bouncing around, and probably today it's best to really avoid it, other than for like using a 2-minute chart and doing quick scalping. I think the probably more of an opportunity today. I don't play these short, but these look like good short setups. These are trash stocks that when you look on a monthly chart, they've just done nothing but split. Here, okay, maybe this CRBP might look the best of the bunch. CRBP, let's take a look at that. What kind of float do we have? 2.5 million. Yeah, some topping tails there. Not really. You've got a little bit of volume in here. You do have some volume. Dollar volume. Let's open that up a little bit. So 38 million. Okay, so maybe that's going to be, but right now there's nothing here. There's no setup on the chart. I might keep an eye on that. IVP, that's pulled back. Yeah. So I'm not seeing much opportunity for the day at the moment. We'll see how the open goes, and if there's some opportunities that do present themselves, I will take advantage of them. Tesla. Let's break this down here. I would be looking for shorting at a break of 180.06 for a continued move lower.